Welcome back to the Tethys Odysseus Devlog. This is episode 4. Last time we left on 2 questions. Could Abe reach the end of the level without crashing the console? And can the Sega Saturn play Oddworld Abe's Odyssey? Well, it can run it. But how far? How buggy? With what quality? Come along and judge for yourself. I just feel sorry for these Americans. I keep playtesting this whole thing, and I never save a single one of them. I know that's the goal of the game, but hey, I'm here for testing. So what's new in this build? Well, Abe can now go all the way through. I didn't get any crash. I stopped playing before it happened. The level is finishable start to finish. But getting there meant hunting down 3 very Saturn kind of bugs. The first bug is the one we saw in the end of the video of Devlog 3. The hard crash. The game used to die in this exact spot, the chain elevator room, and every time Abe stepped on the mine. No error, no warning, just a black screen and the console reset. But here's the thing. Draw sprites front to back, the Saturn sorts them into a fixed number of death slots, 64, not one more. Our code was asking it to place things on slot number of 100, a slot that doesn't exist. So it wrote straight over a vital instruction inside the console, and the whole thing fell over. So the fix was simple. It was just one line. Keep every sprite inside the slots that actually exist. But finding it meant reading the exact memory address where the crash happened and working backwards. The second bug, the ghost sprites. For a while, characters and objects would just vanish. Here one second, gone the next. The Saturn can only hold a handful of color palettes in memory at once. Think of a painter which was very few blinks. A bookkeeping bug convinced the system that every pot was taken when they were actually free. So it refused to draw those sprites and they evaporated. Fixed? Stop trusting the broken counter. Keep track of the free palettes also now. The sprites came back. Bug 3. Too much of a good thing. Same family of problem. When a scene threw too many sprites on screen at once, we would overload that same limited system. They could take the console down with it. We try to go Oddworld. After a certain number of sprites per frame, we simply stop sending more to the chip. The scene, chaos on screen, the console stay on these feeds. But as you can see, there are still a lot of artifacts on the scene, especially in the elevator room. There are still some glitches on the screen, like little white spots and little white lines. But the quality question. Here's the first one. On the R.E.L.I.V.E Saturn, the image, especially the background, actually looks better and cleaner than it does on the emulator. The real hardware reads more faithfully. But the real hardware also show a few gremlins the emulator hides. Later artifacts I was just talking about that are only appear on the actual silicon. Because that's the deal with 1994 hardware. The limits are rigid, they are invisible, and when you cross one, you don't get an error message, you get a crash or an empty screen. Porting this game is really just learning those rules by heart, one bug at a time. So, no more crashes, deliver rounds, front, back. A few cosmetic gremlins are still on the list, and yeah, the Americans still aren't safe with me at the controls. The people made it to the end. And that's episode 4. See you in the next one.